Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about something, and this is more of a rant format, so I don't do these very often, so if that's not your cup of tea, totally get it. I woke up in a bad mood and I started thinking about something that frustrated me, which is why this video is happening at this given point. Before we get into this video, as you know, content like this is often demonetized, so I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Adam & Eve. Adam & Eve is America's favorite adult store. Not only does it come with discreet packaging, but they also donate 20% of their profit to help fight the spread of HIV around the world. They also have a 24/7 customer service and have 90-day no-hassle returns. If you go to adamandeve.com and use code GLARE, you'll get 50% off one item and free shipping in the US and Canada. Thank you, Adam & Eve, for sponsoring this video. We have seen clips popping up of streamers, women streamers, being extremely entitled, conceited, overall just stupid, effectively. And I know that this isn't new information. I think the most recent person to get into a scandal over this was Amanda Cerny, and I'm going to talk about specific events as well, showing you the clips. So the streamers I'm going to be referring to are on Twitch. Granted, I don't know much about Twitch, but you can pay to subscribe and see their content. I think the subscription is usually monthly. My understanding of content creation, based on my knowledge just on YouTube, because I'm not really on Twitch at all, is that you need to earn a fan or earn a subscriber or earn a follower. The idea that you're just gonna sit down and people are gonna follow you, let alone follow you and give you money, is delusional. Can you imagine this happening? So like, why don't I have more subs? To me, that seems like a delusional attitude. It would be like not working a job and then expecting to get paid. It's like, girl, you're not fucking doing anything. Why would anyone want to pay you? And granted, some men probably, because that's the larger demographic for most of these streamers, some men will probably pay to just look at you because all these streamers are pretty, and that's fine. But you can't expect the large majority of people to be interested to the point of paying for your content if you're just sitting there doing nothing, discussing nothing, or rather just sitting there bitching about people not giving you money that you probably don't deserve because you're not doing anything. And I think the reason this frustrates me so much is because so many times people have said, oh, YouTube isn't a real job or get a real job. You know how a certain demographic of people don't consider content creation online a real job, which pisses me off because it is my job. But aside from that, content creation online isn't just, hey, Julia's gonna sit in front of a camera for 15 minutes, talk, upload it, and boom, we're done. I don't want to say this is the hardest job in the world, because it's not. It's a sick job. I love this job. But also, every job has its back-end stuff. There's the research, there's the editing, there's, buying lighting, buying microphones. So the entitlement that comes with these young women who do, I guess, the bare minimum in terms of setting up, and then after that just expect to blow up and to be followed by masses is insane to me. A majority of us had to deal with the beginnings where you were pretty much putting out a video, and if 50 people saw it, that would be a good day. And I remember myself putting out a video. I remember one of my first videos was like a synthetic wig video. At one point, it crossed the 6,000 views mark, and I was enthused, like over the moon enthused. So to think that someone just sits down and nothing is good enough because they think they deserve more just because of their existence on the platform makes me want to drink a bottle of bleach, truly. So let's look at some specific examples, starting with Amanda Cerny. Now, if you don't know who Amanda Cerny is, she's a content creator. She's on Instagram. She isn't friends with Lele Pons, but makes similar-ish content, comedy, using the definition of comedy lightly. So she has 26 million followers on Instagram, okay? This is a clip of her. Apparently she started a Twitch, and this is what she had to say.
All right, guys, let's stay focused. We're getting distracted with numbers here. 500 subs. We got to get to 500 subs. It's the only way I'm committing to a stream schedule. We're at 187. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell ya.
So clearly already the way in which she's like, oh, we're only at 100 and whatever subs, I think that's shitty, because it's like, if I were one of those subs, I'd be like, oh, okay, so you just don't give a fuck about me. I'm just like a number, which, to be fair, based on her attitude, she is looking at them just as numbers. But aside from that, why do you think that sitting and bitching about not having subs is gonna give you subs? The only way you are going to get a following of any sort is by making content, whatever content you want, but you have to consistently make content, because if everyone who wanted a platform did the same thing of like, I'm not gonna post anything on my YouTube channel until I get 500 subscribers, the delusion, the entitlement. It's like, girl, you have 26 million followers on Instagram. Don't start bitching about not having followers on a platform you probably just joined. Then there was this chick. This chick went viral. I know this is not new, but since I was in an angry and bitchy mood, I figured I would take advantage. This chick, my God, just watch.
It doesn't really matter how much money you make or how much money you have. That's really the thing, because I'm not asking you for a large financial contribution. If it cost $20 to sub, $20 is quite a bit of money. $20 is, you can get a full meal for $20. And the difference of $20 and eating a meal is in that $20. Like, that's where it is. But a sub is $5. At maximum, in whatever your currency is, it's maybe $10. And it doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10, truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch, because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money. So being like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, that doesn't really track. What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy.
The sole concept that this person who's in a fucking little fort is giving people financial advice, that sole concept to me is hilarious. The second thing is also, I feel like what a lot of these streamers aren't understanding is that you can have money to pay rent, you can have money to live your life in the way you need to live your life, go to the doctor, you can have money to cover the necessities. Being broke can be just that, in the sense of, I don't have money to spend on things that aren't necessities. Does that make sense? So when people say they're broke, yes, sometimes they don't even have money for necessities. But in this case, it's like, I don't want to say that watching her content is a luxury, because I don't really... Okay. But it is a luxury in the same way that it's a luxury to buy yourself new clothes or buy yourself anything that you don't need. So the fact that she's implying that because you're watching Twitch, you either have the money and you're just not giving it to her, or you should be out working, isn't really, in my opinion, a reflection of reality. Let's say you don't have the money to spend on her Twitch. The fact that she then implies that you have to therefore go to work to make the money so then you could potentially sub is so ridiculous to me, especially in times like now where people are, you know, trying to save as much money or spend minimal amounts of money because the economy, not great. People are losing their jobs, you know? So especially now, to tell someone that $5 isn't a lot and that if you don't have $5, you're financially irresponsible. Like, girl, just stick to sitting on pillows and talking about other shit, because this is not it. There's a difference between saying, hey guys, if you want to sub, it's $5, done. I just find it so disgusting when someone is begging for your money, but in a manipulative way where they make you feel like you're a piece of shit if you don't. I just think that's ridiculous, and there's nothing wrong with promoting your Patreon or whatever else you have, but also just say you have it and move on. Don't try and guilt someone into giving you money. This is kind of a tangent, but this same creator later on said this, which I think is really fucking creepy.
Oh no, so when you guys dono to me, it tells me your name that is attached to your PayPal, and if your name is attached to your PayPal and you dono to me, I look you up on Google. I Google each and every one of your names, and I creep your LinkedIns.
I don't know, maybe it's just me. I have a Patreon. Anytime someone subscribes, or pledges rather I should say, it has never once come to mind for me to Google them at all. That seems like such a weird kind of invasion of privacy. A person wants to support you financially, but that doesn't mean that they want you to know where they work, what they look like, if they're in a relationship. Like, I just find that so invasive and weird. Can't you just appreciate the fact that they donated to you or pledged to you and just be a normal person? And if they did want to share that with you, they'd share it. They'd say it to you. But to creep that kind of stuff is weird. Also, because she mentioned that there are a lot of people who work in tech, allegedly, in her stream, which also makes me wonder whether she looked that up also so she could kind of guilt people, because she probably assumes that everyone that works in tech makes enough money to be able to donate God knows how much to her. She did end up apologizing. It was very bland. It was actually pretty long-winded. I'll link it down below if you want to see it. But the entire apology pretty much was, I shouldn't have said that, which, yeah, duh. And then we have another one who goes full rage mode.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs to keep the stream going, if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs? There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really they really don't respect me.
So another misconception that a lot of these entitled streamers have is that because you're watching them, it automatically makes them worth money to you. And I know that this sounds really mean, but it is a reality that you're just gonna have to accept. Someone might watch you, but they might not find you worth $5. And that sucks and that's sad, and I'm sorry, sweetie, but seriously, you should just be appreciative of them fucking watching you. You're bitching and they're still watching you. If there's any kind of support that says real ride or die support, it's the people who are still watching you as you bitch about them not paying you. Whether they have money in the bank or not, sometimes you're just not worth that price to them. Your entertainment might be worth $2 to them and your sub price might be $5, and that's just the reality of it. I don't understand how all of these women think that a good way to sell their content and their brand is by bitching at you for not paying. It blows my mind, absolutely blows my mind. And the fact that they take their following so for granted is also what's utterly confusing to me, because engagement is engagement. It doesn't always transform into money, but nonetheless, you'd think that having people following you would already be enough for someone. I don't know. Shit like this just makes me mad, because it really feeds into the whole argument that, you know, millennials are entitled and they don't think they have to work for money. You know, like those articles that you see boomers post on Facebook. And people like this really do make the lot look bad. And I mean, we all know that there are always a few bad apples, but nonetheless, this does contribute to the image of people, online creators of all sorts, thinking that they're worth God knows what. I'm getting too heated. It's hot. My makeup's melting. I'm gonna take this as a sign from the Lord that I need to shut the fuck up. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons, as always, and I'll catch you guys